How's it? Great job this week. All right, we did a lot of theory last week and the week before, and you're doing wonderfully. I think that maybe bringing your page on the circle of this and then drawing it out together again would be awesome. If not, I'll have some scrap paper. We could do something with those markers that I got. Always writing it out is always a great idea. So what we have for the rhythm here for our first song, you got the basic construct of that, and now the idea is to keep this right hand constantly moving. So like a and what we talked about, there's different dynamics that cause it to be louder and make it forte or pessimissimo. And what we do is we use dynamics and tone to give inflection. So that inflection that you're hearing with the down, 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 I'm going to be putting an inflection on another downstroke. So down, 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 down. While I do that harder down, I come right back to get a down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And what it ends up turning into is this. Downstrokes on the up, what I'm actually doing on a three-dimensional field and two-dimensional is different. When I'm going up the neck here with those phrasings of blum, 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 I'm quite essentially taking my fingers off the notes that I'm playing and finger muting them, so I get that's called staccato. What we've been doing is legato, where all the notes sustain. And what we could do is actually cut that and keep only the low E and the high E resonating over the top of that choral half-step movement. And then with that, here's a little fun. I'm going to teach you another way to play that D major chord so that D major chord has more vibrance. What we're going to be doing is idea of the cage system. Since you already know the C major, if you were to scoot the C major up a whole step and play it, you get a very interesting D sus kind of chord. However, if you play the C major in the second fingering position and scoot it up to the second fret, you get that. Now, I know that's really hard to play. However, if you play just these notes of that and not do the bar, you get this D note, which still has your D, still has your A, and now it has your F sharp, which is your triad. So you can play this D the first time and this D the second time. So when you have I'm so glad, so glad, I'm glad, I'm glad, I'm glad. That little extra, so glad, I'm so glad. Listen. Boo. That's a different tone, which has the ear tend towards it. So that's a new way to play that D there. It's made out of the cage system. If you wanted to, you could scoot that whole structure up and play different chords, but we'll get to that. Okay, now to our whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Starting in the key of C with the second finger, we're going to have our finger on the third fret, and then we're going to be playing 3 with a down, 5 with an up. You're going to want to keep this wrist right here in this picking motion, not like this and not like an attack, which is what we talked about. So, in order to do this, the whole step, which is C, D, E, F, G, down, you can 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want to go through these scales and get a little bit faster, the way to do that is to actually practice on the right hand of just doing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now you can mute it with this hand or the back of your palm, but either way, if you do it open, it's very legato. If you do this, it's very staccato. So going up and down shouldn't be like a up and down with your armature. It should be an up and down with your wrist, to the point where you could do it at this speed, which is about 75, I think. And then inevitably, rock and roll is like at 120, which takes a little bit of give from the armature and that, but you got to work your way up to that. So I would say try each string by doing a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, until the point where you can get it at about this speed. And what you'll notice on your right hand is you don't hold the pick so very hard. You hold it with a little bit of elasticity or malleability. I mean, I don't really know what the right word is, but you give it a little give. So when you attack the string, it's not rock hard and forming a different angle. It's actually correlating and flipping in between, and then you use the little fulcrum in between the pick and the string to give you your inflection. And I know that seems like a lot, but when you go down, if you were to go down really hard and keep it real hard like that, it's harder to make contact with it. But if you give it a little looseness, it's a lot easier to make contact with it because it flows up and down. All right. I hope that helps out. And next week, we're going to be working on how to move over from majors to minors and then put that into a song. I know right now that we've got the E major. And the idea is you're going E up to F, F sharp, G sharp. The idea of moving up these is great. If we were in an E minor, we could go from an E minor to an F sharp minor to a G sharp minor and back to an F sharp minor, just from that E minor and keeping that same E ringing. That song's called Roundabout by Yes. Maybe we'll tap into that next week. What I like to do is work on our circle of fifths, talk about majors to minors, keep going over our whole step, half step, whole step, half step in C and then in D. Talk about the chords, the sharps, and then move on to majors to minors and then sharps to flats. We're going to be playing a lot more songs now, so I'm going to be picking out some tunes for us, and I really enjoy seeing you this week, and we'll see you next week. Aloha.